Hello YouTube, my name is Agent Omega, and I do things. Today we're going to be doing part 3 of my 50-50-50 challenge. And what that means for those of you who are just joining us today is that first I built 53 ways using 50 blocks in Minecraft, and then I played 50 minutes of Space Engineers and condensed that down into a roughly 15 to 17 minute episode, and now part 3 is 50-minute stream of Monster Hunter World. So I hope you enjoy. Hopefully I've learned from last time and we've gotten a bit more of a head start on the recording, so theoretically my lovely quote-unquote voice will be audible all the way from the introduction, unlike last time where it was cut off a little bit. I don't really have any particular plans for the hunting today. Unfortunately, it looks like I don't have any special assignments at the moment. I think I had one of the optional ones where you could fight Zora Magdaros again, and I would rather not do that right now because I attempted it and I failed woefully. So we might just end up hunting something that I need parts from, like maybe the Legiana. I forget what that thing is called. Yes, so that might be something we do. Theoretically, I'm going to attempt to pull up the live stream on my phone, and any comments you post now, I should be able to see them because I have YouTube up as well. But since we do have more time this go around, I am waiting for the dryer to finish, and I successfully set up more quickly this time, so we theoretically have more time to hunt monsters, and that means we're gonna pick something that's really meaty, like maybe we'll do a story quest, or maybe we'll go into the arena and fight the Anjanath. Yeah, you know what, let's start off with that. That'll be nice and simple. First I'll check my armor to make sure that it's all kitted out correctly. Pulsar Rod will probably be acceptable. I don't think the Anjanath is immune to poison, but that is okay. Health and attack boost is fine. Yeah, my versus fire is acceptable. And I've progressed since last time through. Now I've gotten to the point where I've unlocked alpha and beta versions of armor, and basically I think the alpha ones, I might have this backwards, but one of them you can basically add gems to. I think it might be the beta one. And then alpha ones usually have a secondary effect, or like they have 2 levels of whatever they're doing. So that is a really nifty system, and I quite like that. Unfortunately, because I am still fairly early on, I don't have too many alpha and beta armor types unlocked just yet. So I am still kind of using a hodgepodge of stuff. But I think against an Anjanath, this should be more than adequate. So I've set this up to be public. I think I'll probably go ahead and start the fight. Actually, no, I should get food first. Now, this might actually be another thing that I picked today after we fight the Anjanath, is that I've got a ton of quests to unlock more food stuff, so it'd be nice to sort of flesh out that. You know, I really don't think these tails are used for anything else, but I kind of don't want to risk accidentally using all of the tails and then finding out, oops, I need them for a crafting thing later, so for now, I guess we'll just cook ourselves up some blue mushroom. And whenever I pick these things, I always like picking something that has a decent status effect, but also has a good activation chance. In this case, I might pick the meat platter, because although the activation chance isn't all that great, I do want the attack medium, I think. Actually, you know what? We'll go with the defense. And I know these cutscenes are skippable, but there's just something about cats making food that is incredibly adorable. Even if the food doesn't necessarily match the dish you ordered. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and fight that Anjanath. Should probably grab a couple of these things. I never really need things that use the slinger, because I'm always just constantly launching my bug darts or whatever. And, yep, okay, so we have maxed out our stamina. Normally I wouldn't eat 2 foods like that, but it's just rations, super cheap, don't really care. I do have some trank bombs in here, but I don't know what the benefit of trying to capture the Anjanath versus just killing it is going to be. So we're just going to fight it normally. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, we'll just dive right in. First I'm going to try and sever its tail. Now, the reason I decided to stream today, again, is because I've got tons of time between when the laundry is supposed to be done and, you know, basically just putting things in the dryer. So, I, once again, am preparing for another trip, and that's why all of the laundry is necessitated. And so I figured I'd just do something that's relatively, not exactly easy per se, but it's like, not necessarily something that you get into a flow, and then all of a sudden you can't put it down, like Minecraft. And theoretically we're going to show off some decent hunting tactics and stuff. I really still like the Insect Glaive. I have legitimately not used any other weapon against any hunt quest yet, which could potentially be a mistake. Wait a minute. This Anjanath looks different? Maybe it's because I normally get rid of the tail before those spiky things come out. That is not what I wanted to do. Now, a lot of the time, you'll notice me being, like, really ornery or really precise, or attempt to being precise at where I aim my insect. And that is because I want it to target specific body parts so that we can, you know, like hack off the tail and stuff like that. Perfect. So that's one thing that I really like about Monster Hunter, is that with the bigger beasts, if you break a part off, they will like either physically break off, like the case with tails, or they will become like weathered and stuff, and I think it's really cool that they have that attention to detail. I don't know if it has been exactly the same level in earlier games in the series, but I still think it's really neat, especially since this is, as I mentioned last video, my first real Monster Hunter game that I've played in earnest. But now that I've gotten rid of the tail, I guess I'm going to try to focus on the head next, because I think that's a breakable part. Now, I'm really kind of hoping he runs into a wall, because that's always a little bit comical. Don't want to tip my hand a little too early by using the Dragonator, but I'm going to lure him over in this direction. And oh no! No! Oh, my timing is terrible. Oh, that's horrible. I don't think that's going to be usable for quite a while. Worst case scenario, I'll get him under the middle and we'll drop the falling rocks on him, because I think, yeah, there's a falling rock trap. Now, I don't know if those fins on the back can be broken at all, but I would be very surprised if they can't. I'm just really quickly going to equip the Ghillie Mantle and sharpen my blade. I think it's in this direction. I haven't quite figured out how to organize the hotbar, and oh, okay, good. I have the alloy pants on, and I think that gives me faster sharpening speed. So now we're going to get him back over this way. Ooh. I think he just sneezed. I've not seen that animation before. And now that he's stuck, we're just going to wail away at him. close to dead? One thing I wasn't sure about is whether or not that tail would despawn, but it looks like it's still there, so that's awesome. And that sharpening upgrade is absolutely vital. I don't know how I've gone this long without using it. Okay, so it looks like some of the Anjanath parts have broken off. So I'm gonna have to try and remember to grab those before the fight is over. Oh, those are just stinger bombs. Interesting. Oof. Alright, that's unfun. So... first, I want to get back into that arena, because I feel like he's a lot more manageable over there. And the other thing is, okay, so here's the lever for the rock trap. Oh, but he's up there now. No. I am very clearly still a novice at this game. Yes! Okay, so that's what I was hoping for a while. I've broken its head. Okay. And I think its back is another breakable part, so I'm going to try to start focusing on that. No whammies! No whammies, please! Okay. Ow. Yeah, I'm going to try to get him back down here, because I really want to use that falling trap. That also gives me a good gauge of roughly how far his fire breath attack is. Come on, get down here. Get down here. Yes, thank you. Alright, now if you just stay there, I'm going to drop the rocks and totally miss. I had thought my Palico was going to hold aggro a little bit longer than that, but I overestimated it. Or perhaps I underestimated my own damage dealing capabilities? Alright, so once again we're on his back. I'm going to try and move up here. Excellent. Okay, so that was easier than I expected, or rather, I had a less hard time with that than I did the first time I fought that, and, well, I mean, that's a combination of experience and better gear, but mostly the better gear, I think, because, as we saw, there were tons of mistakes, like misusing all of the traps in the arena, because that fight should have been a lot faster than it actually was. Alright, and it looks like we didn't break off anything else. Like, I know some enemies that if you damage them correctly, they drop, like, wyvern tears and scales and stuff like that. But in this case, it seems like it's just going to be whatever that is. Hello! And once again, welcome to part 3 of my 50-50 challenge. Later, once this is finalized and all up on YouTube, then I am going to put links to the other 2 in the description. But for now, this is just the live stream. And to explain what the 50-50 challenge is first I was going to build 3 different ways using 50 blocks in Minecraft. Then part 2 was 50 minutes of Space Engineers condensed down into one bite-sized episode, and part 3 is 50 minutes of Monster Hunter, which you are now viewing. So thank you for joining me today. And of course, if you have any questions, I am, in fact, keeping track of the comments down below, so feel free to ask any questions, or, you know, just let me know what you'd like to see. Right now, I'm currently thinking that I'm going to find more ingredients for the chef, because I have been kind of putting those off, and I like when he expands his repertoire.
相棒、不思議な痕跡を探しましょう。あちこち行ってみるんです。探索とかフリークエストとか。
Okay, so we've completed all the level 4 food quests. Okay, I'm not terribly familiar with the Rotten Vale's layout, but I do vaguely recall where the lumps of meat are, so I think I'll try that one. I have no idea what equipment I'm going to wear for that either, though. I think the central camp is closer. So we'll just do that, and I'll see what equipment I have that might help me to resist all of the poisony stuff that's in there. I think the pulsar rod should be good. I know there are a lot of things that also have poison resistance down there, and I think... I forget what its name is, but it's like the Great Jagras type. It just has, like, poison claws, and I think it also has, like, a thunder ability, so this might be less effective against that. I'm okay with that. We might consider more Divine Blessing from the Legiana tree, and I don't think we're going to deal with so many fire-type enemies down there, but the thunder resistance that the Bone Helmet has is adequate, I think. Yeah, so you know what, we'll stay with that there. Yeah, I'm actually thinking that we might just stick with what we've already got on. And I think this dragon attack will probably be more effective against the enemies in the Rotten Vale than anything else. The speed sharpening is going to be really nice. I could go Critical Eye. But I think just being able to keep my weapon sharp even in the middle of combat, that's going to be a lot more effective than getting extra critical hits in between. So I think I'll just stick with what I currently have, and now we'll go fetch some more food before the mission. Now, I mentioned last time that Monster Hunter, I feel like, is a game that's easily streamed because, you know, you do have all these bite-sized missions and stuff that you can do. Another game that I play that I might consider streaming is Final Fantasy XIV, because I really like the game, and basically what ended up happening is that I have two main characters, or I like to think of them as being two main characters. So there is the main character that I had since the beginning of the game, since Beta 4 actually, and I kind of still play that one from time to time, but mostly just to keep up with the event. I actually haven't really done much of Stormblood on her, but then earlier last year, one of my coworkers invited me to join his guild, and it's a really awesome guild. But I don't know exactly what the streaming conditions are for them, so I probably won't be streaming that character. But my first main character, I may end up doing some free streaming on, if you guys want to see that, of course. Otherwise, Monster Hunter will probably be the bulk of my streaming experience. And another thing I thought about with these streams is that currently the past two, well, including this one, have been very impromptu, very prompted by, you know, just other things that I've been doing and just kind of being in the general mood to want to stream, but that's not really necessarily conducive to people watching during the live stream. I mean, I know that we've got two folks on right now, so again, thank you for that. But I kind of want to get more of a dialogue going on, so I might end up designating like a day of the month where I set aside some good time to stream, and you guys will know about that then, so hopefully it'll be a jolly good time. Now I think, if I recall correctly, the Rotten Mate is in a cavern kind of in this direction? Yes, I think it's generally over this way. Yes. So if I go back behind those roots, or those bones, or whatever they are, that will be where the rotten flesh is. And then I'll try to remember my way back to camp, but I am notoriously bad at getting lost in these games. And the other thing is that enemies can and will try to attack you if you are carrying the item that they particularly like. I did a mission to get wyvern eggs, and when that happened, I had a Rathian come up and attack me because obviously I was carrying her egg. So I don't know what sort of enemy to expect when I do that with the rotten flesh. I do remember the last time I was here, I was doing some other quest, I think, and there was the corpse of a Legiana here, and something else came up to eat that. There was a giant enemy, and there were also a bunch of the Grimalkin. And I think that's everything. I think that's everything he says as he overlooks the bone pile at his very feet. But yeah, back to the streaming concept. I think that is kind of what I want to do, so I'll probably set aside, you know, like maybe it'll be the second weekend or the third weekend in a month, and that will be, I'll pick like a Saturday or a Sunday, and I'll stream, and maybe I'll chuck down a when is good in the description as well, just to see when people would tend to want to see that stuff. And keep in mind that I am in the Eastern time zone, so that is -5 GMT, I think. So unfortunately, I know a lot of you will be asleep, etc. for that sort of thing. My apologies in advance, but that is the benefit to streaming through YouTube, is that it records all of the videos for me. Alright, what's coming after me this time? I don't see the enemy. Here's the lump of meat. Now that is one other thing that I should have done. I should have brought the Kulu Yaku gloves, because they have increased carry speed. And then I wouldn't have these issues. Can I not get through there? Okay, I can get through here. So I guess I didn't make it all the way through that... Wait. Hold on. I'm going backwards. That doesn't seem right. Yeah. I need to go this-ish way. So I guess maybe there are like 3 or 4 of these vine gates? And if I go around this way, I might be better off? Yeah, that seems like that's the case. Yep. Yep, that is exactly what it is. And, of course, I'm being ambushed by whatever these things are, the Gyros, I think. And I have to remember not to run with the meat, because that actually counts as fatigue. So this time we'll complete the job, and we should be right next to the lump of meat. So this time I can just wander freely through. Where was that lump of meat? Over here? Yes. Now I'm just really quickly going to check how much time I have left. It looks like I've got about 20 minutes. And I kind of want to get rid of as many of these things as possible before I pick up that lump of meat again. Now, I suspect what I want to do for these delivery missions in the future is, like I said, the Kulu Greaves in the hand slot, and then probably something like the Great Jagras Pelt as the body slot, because that enables me to sort of scare off lesser creatures like this one. And I think having that intimidation factor, especially if I can unlock the beta or alpha versions of it, then that will definitely help with these missions. And I think what I'm going to do, I hope I didn't just drop it there, but I want to go back to the campsite. So we'll place that. See, you can put down the lump of meat to open your book, but you can't put it down to fight the enemies and then pick it back up. It just disappears. So that is one thing that I find a little bit strange. Maybe it'd make sense if one of the enemies came over and then ate it, or in the case of, like, the wyvern egg, sure, I can understand. Maybe it just breaks. This is gonna be fun. Okay, I'm gonna try to memorize where the glowflies are taking me before I get ambushed again. Oh, nope. Don't want to get hit by those either, because those will probably make me drop it. Alright, and there are probably more Gyros, or maybe those flying things are gonna... Yep. Flying things like meat too. Duly noted. And I just need to get 2, so if I can just make it through this, not exactly gauntlet, but if I can do this one more time, then we are in the clear. Now, I also know that we can climb down roots and stuff, but I don't know if we can go up them. And it really doesn't... Yes! Okay, good. Very good. Unfortunately, we can't climb quickly, so these wasp things might give us a bit of trouble. Or not. So they de-aggro right there. So the next time on the way through, I might kill those guys off first, because I don't think they'll come back faster than I can grab the meat and then run over here. Alright, one down, one to go. And I am definitely glad that I'm starting to get the hang of... Oh! These guys just hate me. They didn't particularly want the meat, they're just aggroed. Oh yeah, while I'm thinking of it, I did say I wanted to take out those wasp things over here. And it seems like one hit is adequate to down them. Whoop. But they are tricky little bugs. I'm not too concerned with dealing with the other Vespoids and those little termite-like things, because... Oh, we've got more of these guys. I mostly was just concerned with the ones at the foot of the vine ladder back to camp, because if those things hit us while we were on said vine ladder, we would probably drop the payload, and we would also fall and take damage. So that's just something I want to prevent, if possible. Alright, I think those are the bone piles for now, so we'll pop back in here. We'll quickly sharpen our blade again. And get going. Now, hopefully this time, because I got rid of that pack of Gyros already, maybe we don't have anything to worry about. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if I have to dodge like mad. Okay, so the flying things have aggroed again, I think. Either that or the Vespoids are getting angry at me. I'm actually kind of surprised those things came back so quickly, so we are in for quite a bit of a flee. Run away! Run away! Do not want! Do not want! Okay. And the Vespoids also came back, so this is going to be a case where I want to just run on over here and start climbing as fast as possible. Because I think they de-aggro once I get up to about here, and now we should be able to take it easy the rest of the way. And that should be a success. I don't know what the... is the gathering hub, like, the thing that I was taking the meat from? Or is it maybe something else that I've totally forgotten exists? I'll find that out for next time, because I feel like that's a little bit more research than I have time to do at this very moment. Marinated carpaccio. Interesting. Now, I think since we have, like, roughly 5 to 7 minutes left, I'm probably going to try to pick something really quick. Maybe, like, an investigation or something that I can just churn out really fast. Like, hunting a great Jagras or something. Let's quickly check the Events tab. Hunt 2 of them in... Can I really hunt 2 of them in 10 minutes? Not terribly likely. Not terribly likely at all. So we'll just really quickly take a look at the investigations we have here. Slay 20 Vespoids. You know what? Yeah, that seems like a thing that I could probably do in the next 7 minutes. And I'm also going to detail, like, some of the stuff that I plan on doing in the future, because I am making some good progress in some of my other games that I'm playing, and I genuinely think they might be cool ideas for series and stuff. I don't want number 17, because that's way out there. This one ought to be the closest one. Now, because it is just Vespoids, and they are really incredibly weak, I'm just going to go out there, I'm going to try to kill as many of them as possible in the time that we have left, and they basically just go down in one hit, so that's really simple, theoretically. The real problem will be how quickly do they respawn, because we may have to leave, like, partway through the session, like I said, because I need to finish the laundry for my trip. But in terms of the other series that I'm considering working on, as I mentioned earlier, I might start streaming Final Fantasy if you guys want to request that. I'll definitely keep doing Monster Hunter, hopefully on a more routine / regular basis. Like I said, maybe once, twice a month. Minecraft, I don't really have any plans for vanilla stuff at the moment. Maybe if there's another Mumbo Jumbo Redstone challenge. I did see the self-building machines challenge results were completed. I had an idea for that, but I just plainly didn't have enough time to really implement it, much less to an adequate degree that I would have liked. I was considering making a flying machine builder, and it turns out that somebody else also had that idea. So kudos to them. Good job all around to everyone, because that was pretty fantastic. So yeah, vanilla, I don't have really too many ideas. I did do that tour of the creative world last time around as the first part of the 50-50-50 challenge, but I think for me, the next big thing that I might start recording is that I've been making a ton of progress on the Infinity Evolved Feed the Beast server, at least in terms of building things. I'm kind of far behind on technology and stuff, but I'm basically my giant project that is my base. Basically, the giant base project has gotten further along than I had kind of expected, so I'm going to start doing more functional aspects, like I plan on putting a village in the edges of the base. I plan on starting to work on like applied energistics and stuff like that, so hopefully I'll very shortly have a new series called something along the lines of Omega Does Feed the Beast, or something like that. But I do also want to separate that out, because there are so many different flavors of Feed the Beast. So one day I might be playing Infinity Evolved, and then I might try out like a different mod pack, because Wells Knight's Horizons 3 series looks pretty interesting. So check that out if you want to see something new in the Feed the Beast realm. I'm trying to think of other really cool things. Iskall has a Foolcraft series out, so maybe at some point I might do something with Foolcraft as a mod pack, because I really like the idea of having all the randomly generated stuff. That makes it a lot more interesting and varied, because that is another thing with Infinity Evolved that I'm finding myself having issues with right now. I just get caught up in this build, and it's a really complex build because I'm doing a lot of it with wood, like logs and stuff, and so that means I need to place all of them very painstakingly and such like that. But I have made, like I said, a lot of progress. Theoretically, I'll be doing more interesting things than just building more base stuff. So when that happens, I'm definitely going to start a series up, and hope you guys enjoy. With that, we are basically out of time, so I'm just going to grab as much of the stuff on the ground as I can. I probably should have been picking up Vespoid parts where I could. Is it Vespoid or Vespid? Well, either way. I should have been picking up parts from them as I killed them. But the other thing is I don't have the Entomologist upgrade, so corpses are less likely to drop, and therefore that means materials are as well. I kind of wish I hadn't hit that, but it's whatever. So, there you have it, folks. I think that's definitely all the time I have for today. If you liked it, please leave a like. If you have any suggestions for future streams, or, you know, if you want to see specific things in Monster Hunter, or if you have, like, a particular day of the week that you would like me to stream, please leave that in the comment section as well. If you want me to pick a different game to stream, that too. If you want to see more videos, whether it be Monster Hunter or Minecraft or insert game here, feel free to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell next to it if you want to be notified. So, once again, thanks for watching, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Have a good week, everyone. And happy Easter to those of you who do.